You may live to see man-made horrors beyond your comprehension. It's not the love you make. It's the love you give. Inventors don't have time for married life. So astounding are the facts in this connection, that it would seem as though the Creator, himself had electrically designed this planet. Marconi is a good fellow. Let him continue. He is using 17 of my patents. Most persons are so absorbed in the contemplation of the outside world that they are wholly oblivious to what is passing on within themselves. But instinct is something which transcends knowledge. We have, undoubtedly, certain finer fibers that enable us to perceive truths when logical deduction, or any other willful effort of the brain, is futile. Most certainly, some planets are not inhabited, but others are, and among these there must exist life under all conditions and phases of development. Every living being is an engine geared to the wheelwork of the universe. Though seemingly affected only by its immediate surrounding, the sphere of external influence extends to infinite distance. The idea of atomic energy is illusionary, but it has taken so powerful a hold on the minds, that although I have preached against it for 25 years, there are still some who believe it to be realizable. There is something within me that might be illusion, as it is often case with young delighted people, but if I would be fortunate to achieve some of my ideals, it would be on the behalf of the whole of humanity. The progressive development of man is vitally dependent on invention. It is the most important product of his creative brain. The Secretary of Hygiene or Physical Culture will be far more important in the cabinet of the President of the United States who holds the office in the year 2035 than the Secretary of War. Today's scientists have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation and eventually build a structure which has no relation to reality. I have already demonstrated, by crucial tests, the practicability of signaling by my system from one to any other point of the globe, no matter how remote, and I shall soon convert the disbelievers. But instinct is something which transcends knowledge. We have, undoubtedly, certain fibers that enable us to perceive truths when logical deduction, or any other willful effort of the brain, is futile. I do not think there is any thrill that can go through the human heart like that felt by the inventor as he sees some creation of the brain unfolding to success. Such emotions make a man forget food, sleep, friends, love, everything. Modern science says, the sun is the past, the earth is the present, the moon is the future. From an incandescent mass we have originated, and into a frozen mass we shall turn. Merciless is the law of nature, and rapidly and irresistibly we are drawn to our doom. The human being is a self-propelled automaton entirely under the control of external influences. Willful and predetermined though they appear, his actions are governed not from within, but from without. He is like a float tossed about by the waves of a turbulent sea. We have soon to have everywhere smoke annihilators, dust absorbers, ozonizers, sterilizers of water, air, food, and clothing, and accident preventers on the streets, elevated roads and in subways. It will become next to impossible to contract disease germs or get hurt in the city, and country folk will go to town to rest and get well. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency and vibration. I don't care that they stole my idea. I care that they don't have any of their own. The scientists of today think deeply instead of clearly. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. The present is theirs, the future, for which I really worked, is mine. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. If your hate could be turned into electricity, it would light up the whole world. My brain is only a receiver. In the universe there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength and inspiration. I have not penetrated into the secrets of this core, but I know that it exists. Be alone, that is the secret of invention. Be alone, that is when ideas are born. I do not think you can name many great inventions that have been made by married men. One must be sane to think clearly, but one can think deeply and be quite insane. Our virtues and our failings are inseparable, like force and matter. When they separate, man is no more. All that was great in the past was ridiculed, condemned, combated, suppressed, only to emerge all the more powerfully, all the more triumphantly from the struggle. Let the future tell the truth, and evaluate each one according to his work and accomplishments. The present is theirs, the future, for which I have really worked, is mine. Life is and will ever remain an equation incapable of solution, but it contains certain known factors. If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6 and 9, then you would have the key to the universe. We crave for new sensations but soon become indifferent to them. The wonders of yesterday are today common occurrences. Invention is the most important product of man's creative brain. The ultimate purpose is the complete mastery of mind over the material world, the harnessing of human nature to human needs. Today's scientists have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation, and eventually build a structure which has no relation to reality. The individual is ephemeral, races and nations come and pass away, but man remains. The gift of mental power comes from God, divine being, and if we concentrate our minds on the truth, we become in tune with this great power. My mother had taught me to seek all truth in the Bible.